Well, morning, fellas. Morning? It's only 6:09 in the evening, October 21st, 2025. The Weaver, John C. Roseman, California. A diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me. Yeah. I said a while ago when I was posting some videos that I wasn't really going to go into politics. I got up and got into politics. Just saying what people were talking about. I managed to capture MSNBC watching Nicole Wallace with Daniel, actually with Jeff Daniels, and profound, very profound from these guys. I liked Daniels' music. I really did. He doesn't like what's going on, and some of his songs are. And one song he was singing actually is captured on YouTube at this point. Captures what we're going through right now as it is. You can find it. It's on MSNBC's website, actually on the YouTube site. I was getting a little ticked off concerning about some of the stuff I was running into, including ICE. Yeah, I know. A few hours ago, the independents are having a field day over this one. Saying that Noem is trying to recruit more and more people, including 18-year-olds, and she said that she removed the age bracket. 18-year-olds can actually apply for being an ICE agent. The problem is, when you're an ICE agent, aren't you supposed to have some kind of law enforcement background? Don't you have to be a police cadet to get into your local police department? At least when you're going through a police academy, it teach you a hell of a lot of things. But an 18-year-old, you're coming out of high school, you don't know shit from Chinola. 1 or 2 weeks of training doesn't give you anything. It just only tells you how to be a bully. So you go out there and chase people and think this is fun. Now, William doesn't get it because she's never been law enforcement. She's never worked in law enforcement, at least not that I've researched enough on her anyway. If she had been in law enforcement and not just an attorney, but I'm talking about working in police departments or sheriff's departments, hung around police academies, sheriff academies, understood what it was meant to be somebody carrying an actual badge and carrying out constitutional duties. She doesn't care. No, she's doing the Hitler, Gestapo, SS, Stormtrooper, wherever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it at this point. She thinks she's doing it for the good of the country. And that's what they said in Nazi Germany, and look what happened. And now she's going to be recruiting the Hitler Youth. People forget history. It comes up and bites you in the ass and bites you in the face. I hope this one does too. You guys all need reminders of this shit. The other thing, was still depressing the crap out of me, is seeing the White House going through absolute destruction. Absolute destruction. Yeah, they're tearing apart the East Wing to build this edifice. It's got to be gilded in gold. Has to be gilded in gold because the King Trump wants it. So we'll just put up some barriers and cover up areas where people can look at the desecration of the people's house. The seat of our power, or the executive branch anyway, being torn apart for someone else's vanity. And I'll remind you, assholes, you are the one that voted this son of a bitch in. I'm not gonna back off on this one. You guys are voted in a mob boss. You voted in the tyrant. Congratulations. Now we all got to deal with it. Capone had just a little bit of class than this asshole does. If he was going to get rid of his enemies, they got the Tommy guns, and he'd have his guys have a shootout in the street. If he was going to take out cops or judges, he'd do the same damn thing. One thing he wouldn't do is go after women and children. I think him being a family man. He also had a problem when they had milk issues. Sold milk well past its prime, and kids got sick over it. To which he had to work with local government and the dairies and the stores to come up with a solution to have expiration dates on them. And once it's reached a past of date, they take the milk off, regardless if it's still usable or not. They were trying to prevent kids from getting sick. The one good thing he did in his miserable life is trying to save the kids' systems, and not to mention everybody else, from drinking soured milk. You try drinking soured milk? It don't taste too good, let me tell you. Wasted too much milk on that one, just having it by the bedside. Covered, thermos, double layer, maybe a bit of installation of ice in there. May keep it alive for a bit, but after a while it starts getting soured. This is not meant to keep it frosty all the time. I had to put some ice cubes just for a 2 or 3 hour nap. It's almost coming across to being soured, but not yet. But I'm reading all this stuff. I'm coming across material that the Trump mob boss and his lieutenants are doing. That gives me the upset stomach. Who needs my Atlanta? I got whole milk. When the prices are going about $4 or $5 a gallon. Yeah, shit you're not. I should have been $1 or $2 a gallon. Let me explain something about the pricing situation that this guy always forgets and doesn't give a shit about. He's never gone to a store in his life. He's never gone shopping in his life. He's never gone price shopping online. He's never seen consumerism in his own lifetime. Everyone else has to shop for the son of a bitch and his family. Which kind of pisses me off anyway, because he doesn't know his ass from a hot rock. He heard about prices, but he just doesn't know what the prices are. Can I tell you what the prices are before I go on another field trip on this one? Where I'm going to is back to DoorDash, because they're the ones doing my food delivery from a 2.5 mile trip, almost, of a supermarket. Milk's expensive. And yeah, I like milk. I drink it a lot. My gut tells me so. I don't drink alcohol, I drink milk. Which means my blood sugar is going skyrocketing, so is the fat level. Last time I did a shopping trip was on the 16th of October. A lot of food. For a few days. I'll tell you about it. My mama is still fussing her ass off because she's a dog and she's doing that. She just wants to fuss. I pet her and she just wants to be a pain in the ass. Okay. Single banana right now costs about 69 cents a piece. I got 5 of them. Cost me about nearly $1.50. 69 cents for a piece of fruit. For a banana being shipped over to the United States. Green onions for a bunch. Usually about 5 or 6 in there if I'm lucky. $1 for a bunch of onions. A couple of yellow onions, big fat ones. They're about $1 a piece. About a pound. It's about almost 2 pounds, and it cost me about $1.78. Milk, $4.79 for the whole. Not to mention the same price for the non-fat or low-fat in that range. And this is from their cheap stuff. This is not the national brand. This is local dairies. It's in the state of California. Over $4 for a gallon of milk. If you were someone on a budget and you happen to get cereal, depends on what kind of cereal that you're getting. It's usually about $4 or $5 a box, isn't it? It's getting that way. More than that. And sometimes you would like to get a bag because it may be cheaper, because you look at the prices and you look at the unit prices if you're good at consumer math. You got to see how much the bag will be costing more than the box cereal by the weight, by measurement, how much they consider. It's like about a half cup for a serving size. For some people, it's like 1 cup. So it kind of decreases the value somewhere. I don't get cereal enough over at the store. I'm getting it through a bulk. And yes, I'm paying Jeff Bezos for this. Hoping that the money does the trickle down theory by paying the workers who deliver, actually who package, put them in a box, put a label on the box, put a taping all over the box, put it into a vehicle to ship it over here, and then bring it over to me. Even that, I had to go over how much I'm paying for that one. So let's go over to Jeff Bezos' place, Amazon.com. Yes, I know. Yesterday we actually had problems concerning about Bezos and this wonderful computer ingenuity and everything else. You're fussing. You know that? Yeah, you are fussing. Go on. I'm just going to fuss. Okay, so for an order I was trying to get, even for a couple of, what is it, half gallon or just 2 quarts of apple juice. I usually compare prices left and right where I need to get it at. By the way, 73% lean, 10 count. Ugh, you don't want to know about that one, do you? Of hamburger. Hamburger patties. Instead of getting a roll, I'm usually getting the hamburger patties a great deal. A 10-piece count. $14.19. Compare that to how much a roll it would be these days. But I would have to make my own damn stuff on it one night. You pay for the convenience, boys and girls. Potato salad, 48 ounce. Like it spicy, sweet, oniony, flavorful. $11.79 for a 48 ounce container. Let that sink into your head. Okay, back to Bezos. Raisins, $4.64 for a 13 ounce. Keep that in mind. Oh, how about a small drink container? That'll do 1 quart if you're lucky. Of Tang orange juice. $3.84. Well, like Gatorade, a big, huge, tall thing of it, $15.98. A small container of coffee. I like my coffee. $7 for this damn thing. Of course, I like with sugar and creamer, and that costs extra right there. A box of honey bunches of oats that are 16-ounce box. Thin ass, skinny son of a bitch here. Well, They said it got decreased from 493 to 282. Trying to get rid of the backlog. Try this one. Ramen. Nissan Top Ramen Noodle Soup. I don't eat it very much. I eat a different one altogether, Marichan. But I'm getting into the flavor of Top Ramen. A little more saltier that way. 3-ounce package, the standard. You get a whole tray of them, about 24 of them. You get $7 for the damn thing. Creamy Marichan Ramen Chicken, and it is creamy. It's $5.76 for the same amount. The order that I placed, the order that I tried to place right now is having a conniption fit. Simply put, the EBT cards are getting null and voided. You might have the money in the account, but because of the shutdown that we have, it's affecting state information that I can't use my card anymore. I have to upgrade. I have to upgrade the payment. I have to not use the EBT card anymore like I used to have. I am trying to do something to get what I wanted. A bag of that cereal I told you about, almost $4, $3.91. The apple juice that they have, $2.36 for this one. This is through Amazon, the cheapest shit they've got. Their own version of it. Through DoorDash, through grocery. I'm going over to Albertsons through the DoorDash application, and I will tell you what the apple juice will be. With or without my dog being a tyrant right now of wanting attention at this point. I'm just waiting for the computer system to give me some latitude to work with here. Okay, so if we're talking about apple juice, even the store bought, the store brand would have been the Signature, right? 64. This is 5.49. The same ounce of liquid and the same clarity of liquid. About $5.02. You're going to ask, what's the point? When these prices to go down? Apple juice is internal, meaning inside the country here, manufactured by apple producers. What's wrong? We've got a supply problem now with them, so now it's jumping up more and more in price. Worse off, our meat prices going skyrocketing. Now Trump wants to use Argentina beef instead of our own U.S. We got beef producers, we got milk producers out there jumping up the prices. Do I blame the billionaires for this one, or do I blame Trump for this shit? Or do I blame the voters? Do I blame, period? Try another thing that I've got an issue with. Trump wants money. He wants more money. He wants $250 million for the Department of Justice because he had legal shit happening over a few years back. He's owed recompense. He wants the American taxpayer to repay him for the losses of court cases he screwed up on. So now he's trying to get that money back out of mine pocket. By the way, not without doing anything else but destroying a White House to do it. And allowing 18-year-olds to be Hitler Youth. One final thing to be a little bit pissy about. This one's going over to Adam Mockler. I know he likes to challenge people left and right, and he had to fall into these things, and he's trying to do everything else he can to prove a point to the conservatives at this point. God bless him for being that reckless and crazy for a 20-something-year-old kid. But if somebody's going to be asking me what my religion is, I'm going to say, why? I'm a Christian. Is that something to you? Is my way of handling my religion, or actually handling the religion of worshiping Christ, damaging to yours? Damaging to your psyche? Damaging to your ability to understand? You want this place to be a Christian nationalist? A Christian nation? Entirely? Did you not understand what Christ was trying to tell us about the stranger? And here's the thing. You want to put it into perspective. We all are strangers. Every damn one of us. Even if we happen to know each other for decades, we're still strangers to each other. But Christ didn't see it that way. Christ wanted us to treat each other as equal. Caring for the other person who needs to be cared for. Come on. Come here. Oh. Yeah. It's not you, Ma. It's me trying to get your attention. Come here. Come here. You want attention. Right here. Easy. Easy, love. Hardest damn thing dealing with a dog, especially when she's really at that time, is letting him go. Another 20 years with this dog. She may have a little bit of life left if I still treat her more. Treat her better. I gotta worry about that. That's not Christian values. That's the values I was growing up with. Or it could be Maine. I mean, it could be the Christian values of treating a stranger, including a dog. Some dogs actually know if you're a good guy or not. Sometimes they're not so sure. Till you prove it to them. But how do you tell and prove that to a conservative who's got to burp his ass? Who thinks Christians ought to be one way or another? And was it Christ wanted us to debate with people, or just merely be someone who can help them out? I never thought that Christ would be looking for a debate, or wanted a debate. He just wanted to be of help. Well, we got to burp our ass on that one. We got to royal burp our ass on this one. We think we know better. We don't. We don't know any better. We're taught the lessons in the Bible, in our holy books, what we're supposed to be. Doesn't matter which particular faith or religion you got. That they're supposed to be people of service and worshiping something higher than their calling, which is probably for the betterment of people or humankind, and betterment period. Something worthwhile. But did they ever say that we have to do this because we have to subjugate people under our will? Because it is a will of whatever kind of lunatic we were worshipping at that point? I'll throw a Star Trek reference. The will of Landru. Either second or third season of Star Trek, original series. Enterprise is trying to figure out what the hell happened to this one particular crew. 400 years ago, the Archons. The episode was called Return of the Archons. Archons came across a society ruled by a computer and got nailed. 100 years later, here comes the Enterprise, the Federation of Planets, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and discovers that they got a lunatic society. During the daytime, at a certain time hour, about 12 hours, they're sane. But from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, they're nuts. Ruled by a computer. Computer programming. Who never understood what it is to be human. But it does know what chaos and confusion is, and a lot of people to do that to themselves. Sometimes when I look at different episodes or different shows or different medias, we all have our own examples to show to people, one way or another, what we think, what we feel, and what we know that's going to be happening, one form or another. I don't think all these conservative assholes ever figured this shit out. They thought it was liberal wokeism crap. Well, maybe it was. But if they don't get it, it's on them. But if they're going to tell me that this is the way Christ wants, by one race ruling everybody, then I'm like, you don't know anything about your religion, do you? Kudos to Mr. Adam Mockler for trying to stick it to the conservatives if that was your intent. Were you trying to educate them, or you were trying to skull thump them one way or another to prove a point, that your point is better than theirs? It's one thing looking for the gray area when you're looking for the points to agree and disagree on. If you're looking for the attacks and you're trying to prove that your religion is better than theirs, no. That's where you guys usually get skull thumped and beat the crap out of each other. Did we not learn about history? Some person's form of religion is used as a weapon against some other person that they're trying to subjugate left and right. Goes back to as far as the beginnings of recorded history of humanity. We have never been able to solve that damn shit. We don't all have to be one religion and one viewpoint. We can have many and pluralistic ideologies and thought patterns. But we can still come together on a common point if we actually did choose to do so. The subjugation was never that one. That being said,